Hello, welcome to IT Reloaded. I hope all you guys are doing fine. I hope all you guys are keeping safe and warm outside. But tonight we're gonna discuss another subject in regards to Haiti. But we are going to decide to discuss Haiti in a light that most people never see Haiti. Most of the time when you talk about Haiti or there's a discussion about Haiti, what do you imagine? Most people imagine a poor country, a country that is impoverished, a country where natural disaster always occurring, a country that is not organized, with a lack of governance, and most of all, a country that's always asking for help. But do you know that once upon a time, Haiti was the country giving the help? Haiti has always been known in the past as the Pearl of the Antilles because the French used to make money off of it, and all the glory of France today they have is due to Haiti when it comes to wealth, of course. But do you also know that Haiti should have also been known for the country, the generous, the liberator, the crown jewel of freedom, a country that believes in Pan-Africanism, a country that believes in freedom for all, and a country that created the word humanity. Why do I say that? In 1804, when Haitians took their freedom, they fight for independence. They didn't fight for just themselves. They fought for the world. In 1804, after we gained our independence, Dessalines declared independence for the world and independence for all black around the world. What he says was this Haiti should be the flambeau, the freedom fighters, what we call today freedom fighters are not real freedom fighters. Haiti was the freedom fighter. Haiti was the country fighting for freedom for everyone. And in 1804, after we gained our independence, Dessalines called upon all African American or all African who were enslaved in the world or all African who are free in the world, if they wanted refuge, they can come to Haiti to stay in Haiti. And he will pay their passage. He will pay for their passage. Not only that he will pay for their passage, he will give them land, free land, and give them money to resettle in Haiti. That, my friend, is the word of a true liberator, not a fake one. Do you also know that after 1804, Dessalines died, but that promise was kept by Boyer. He still, in 1826, Boyer continued that same tradition till 1830. He still asked any American, African American, who were willing to come to Haiti and were freed, if they want to come to Haiti to resettle, he was ready to accept them. In fact, 8,000 African Americans traveled to Haiti, stayed in Haiti, and resettled in Haiti. 2,000 went back to America, to the United States. For whatever reason they went back, they went back. But the other 6,000 stayed and become part of the Haitian population today, and their descendant can still be seen in Haiti right now. Besides that, in 1816, Haiti offered hand to Simon Bolivar. When Simon Bolivar was fighting for the independence of Latin America, for a long time he was fighting against Spain. Spain was beating him down. He couldn't continue the fight. So what he did in 1815, he went to Haiti for refuge. He went there, he stayed there for 1 year. Haiti provided him and his army with food, with place to stay, and medical care. After 1 year they stayed in Haiti, in 1816 they decided they're really ready and replenished. They could go back and fight for Latin America. And Haiti sold tons and tons of coffee. And with that money, Haiti funded their liberation war. They went back to fight for Latin America, with Haiti providing them with weapon, with money, and soldiers to go fight Latin America. And what's the result of that fight? And because of that, Simon Bolivar was able to liberate a lot of countries. Among them, Simon Bolivar liberated the northwest of Brazil, Guyana, Venezuela, Ecuador, Colombia, Panama, the north part of Peru, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Bolivia, and when Haiti provided them with money, weapon, and soldiers, like I said. So all these countries were liberated because of Haiti supporting the fight for liberation. Once again, proving that they were true liberators. They really believe in freedom. They were not only fighting for freedom for black people, they were fighting for freedom of the world. And do you know what Haiti asked in return for that help they gave to Simon Bolivar? Only to free the slave. That's all. Even though Simon Bolivar, when it was time for them they were doing a conference in the Americas and the United States was invited, they failed to invite Haiti. They didn't invite Haiti as a country to participate in that probably because he was afraid United States was participating and United States didn't look kindly onto Haiti because of the fact that United States themselves owned slaves and slavery was still continuing in the United States. However, Haiti did not forget. Haiti did not stop helping people even though Simon Bolivar turned his back on them. And you could see still now, even though Simon Bolivar promised to free the slave in Latin America, but you can see the relationship, the race relationship in Latin America is not as great as we thought it would have been. Because he probably didn't keep all his promise. Yes, he probably freed the slave, but did you treat them properly? One thing I remember, if I remember correctly, one of the things I remember is from Martin Luther King. I remember when Martin Luther King said he was fighting for freedom of the Negroes in America. Nowadays known as African American, but back then they used to call black people Negroes. Martin Luther King said, what is the point? Yes, I have seen the dream and I have walked the people to the mountain where freedom should be. But what is the point of having free blacks and fighting for blacks to be equal with whites when they can't even have money or the same pay to enter in those institutions that I'm fighting for them to sit equally with whites? They can't even enter those institutions because they do not have enough money or they're not paid equally to enter those institutions. Therefore, it's the same thing coming back to Simon Bolivar. Yes, Haiti helped them fight for the freedom of all the people in Latin America, and in returns, they were supposed to free the black in Latin America. But they never really gave the Afro-Latinos the same rights or the same freedom as the white Latinos to be equal and to compete in the world that we're supposed to compete. So did Simon Bolivar really keep his promise? You be the judge of that. But Haiti did not stop there. Even though Simon Bolivar didn't keep his promise, they continue on. In 1822, they helped the Greek with money to fight for their independence. They contributed money to Greece when they needed it to fight for their independence in 1822. In 1934, to continue, when Italy invaded Ethiopia a second time, Haiti was the first country to condemn the invasion of Ethiopia and the first country to also offer military aid, and financial support to Ethiopia, even though in 1934 Haiti was still paying off his debt to France. Remember, Haiti finished paying his debt to France in 1947. Even though they were paying their debt, they still find a little bit of money on the side to help their fellow men, Ethiopia. To help Ethiopia out of his soul. So Haiti should have been known as not only the Pearl of the Antilles, but it should have also been known as the generous mother of freedom. To continue on, in 1950, Haiti was the first country to assist South Korea with military and financial support when they were fighting the Korean War against, the Korean War between South Korea and North Korea. Haiti was the first country to offer and support South Korea with military and financial support. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Haiti has always been known as the poorest country in the Caribbean, the country that has all the problem in the world, the country people get tired of. People get Haiti fatigue because all the time in the media, people hear about Haiti. It's always about Haiti has an earthquake, Haiti has bad poor construction, Haiti has no money. Bring more money to Haiti. But perhaps Haiti has helped all these nations in the past. Perhaps today it's the time for these nations to lend a hand to Haiti, to help Haiti. Yes, as Haitian, we are proud. We have integrity. We're not ashamed to fight for what we believe in. We may be a poor country today, but we are not poor. I'm sorry to say that. I apologize. We may be an impoverished country, I should say today. But we are not a poor country when it comes to spirit. We're still rich in spirit. We still have the drive to fight for our liberation. For my Haitian people, my people of Haitian descent, we spend so much time in the past century, in the past years, fighting for others, helping others to fight for themselves. Today, once again, we have to fight for ourselves. We have to rise again. Just like the phoenix, we shall rise back from our ashes. And we will stand proud. We will stand proud as Haitian, and we will not be defeated. And I know those of you who can hear me out there, you will join us in our fight, in our movement to free Haiti from the colonial hand, from the colonial hatred, from racism and that disease that rampant around the world and killing our soul as human beings. We will fight and we will win. Thank you.